Alrighty, man. We back again.
Back again.
Yeah,
nah,
back
nigga, we
again.
here for the first time.
We back again.
We back. We here. I got the one and only.
This shit working?
Y'all shit working?
Yeah, it's working.
I bet.
I got Mr. The one and only. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yeah. So for everybody who don't know, and you popped in here, appreciate y'all for popping in. My name is Dre Barter, or my name is Dre, formerly known as Dre Barter.
Yes, sir.
Here with my special guest narrator, my brother. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Meek. You already know what time it is, man. We've been down since day one.
Damn near.
Of course. And we got another day one in the studio too, man.
Yeah. Special guest behind the camera today, but he'll be in a couple episodes. This is my brother, my my lifelong teammate within his music, my engineer, K.
What's the word?
Shakir the Engineer. And it should be some hand clapping behind that shit. I'll put that shit in there.
Alright, so we gonna start off from the beginning, man. What inspires you to want to do music?
So from the very beginning, sheesh. Honestly, man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't got one of them type of storylines to where, like, you know, I was 8 years old rapping and shit like that. But you know what? I started rapping when I was in high school. I did that shit for sport. Niggas would be in the same class, and I was noticing they was rapping and shit like that. Okay. And I like what they were saying, but I like myself even more. So then I just started writing in my own book. Damn near, I think like freshman year of high school.
Okay. What was people around you saying when you was making music?
You know, at first, niggas wasn't taking me seriously. I remember my first rap name.
What was the first rap name?
My first rap name before I even thought about Dre Barter. Mind you, people already called me Dre Carter. Because that's kind of like, you know, who I am or whatever. So Dre Carter was taken. So I decided to go with Drazy.
Drazy, yeah.
Drazy.
Okay.
That was my first rap name. And so niggas wasn't really taking me serious. But I mean, it is what it is.
What made you come with Drazy? What's going on with that? But
you know what? My favorite rapper at the time was Drizzy. Niggas was calling me Drizzy.
Okay.
They was calling me Drizzy, but I couldn't call myself Drizzy. So I threw the ZY on there on the Drazy shit.
A little drizzle then.
Nah, no drizzle, man. No drizzle, no none of that bullshit.
Okay. So, going throughout your time in high school, did you start seeing yourself develop more and more with your music, or? You know,
I'd say closer to the end of my senior year is when I started to kind of take things a little bit more seriously. Okay. At that time, I was trying to figure out, you know, if I wanted to run track in college or what was going to be my next destination. And so I had a lot of things I was interested in, but rap was kind of one of the things when I got injured that I really used as a coping mechanism for myself, and I enjoyed making my records damn near.
Okay, that's what's up, man. Were you going to any places, any studios at the time to record?
Right.
Or what
so,
were you doing?
You know what? At that time, I was what you would just call a freelance artist. I was going to any studio that'd take me. I was kind of, you feel me? I was liking what was going on, but it wasn't necessarily anything that I really vibe with. So I damn near, you know, brought it upon myself that one day that you would probably know. When I hit you up and asked you, could you throw in with me on some studio equipment? And that's when I started to really, started to rap for real. Like before, I was just going to the sessions, seeing how other people were in the sessions and shit. Not really like there to rap, just there to be a friend. But then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take this shit serious.
Okay. When you end up going to pick up your own equipment, do you remember your first song you end up recording with the equipment, or you don't?
I do, actually. So
and what was your little setup, man? Where was your setup at, too?
So at that time, and my dad had a condo in the hills. Okay. And he used to travel back and forth a lot, so I'd just be at the crib. And I remember I had my little mattress set up or whatever, like vertical, like in my closet, trying to get like the best quality of sound and shit like that. But one of my first records I ever recorded on my MacBook, actually before we even got that studio equipment, was Days Spent, and that was recorded with a Apple iPod mic.
Damn.
And just a laptop. Yeah, and a software called Audacity. And I thought I was doing something. I wasn't doing nothing yet.
Wow. So, and at that time in your life, who was really inspiring you the most with your music?
You know what? It was really the lifestyle that you and me was in, honestly. The lifestyle we were in was a fun lifestyle where I could talk about a lot of things that we was experiencing at that time. And so, that brought, different experiences. But at the time when I was so young and so new, I was really trying to figure out myself. I remember one of my first records that actually jumped off the page and I got more than 100 views on was this, one of my favorite records actually is Kanye West featuring Rick Ross, Devil in a New Dress. That's one of my favorite records, one of my favorite productions. And so I rapped off that and put it on SoundCloud.
Okay. And
that shit did straight. It had like 123 views. But at that time, that was the hitter. Like, you got these smaller milestones. And so that was my first time getting over 100 views was on that record.
Okay, so at the time, would you say you was more, you was dropping most of your music on that platform, SoundCloud?
Yep. I was trying to get on the SoundCloud wave. I got on everything that I do. I get on not premature, I get on late. So I got on there a little bit later, but shit, I dropped on there and kind of just worked from there. And at that time, this is before I met any of my friends. I went to a community college at first after, my whole little debacle with school. And so when I went to community college, I met up with a friend. Shout out to J-Hub. Shout out to J-Hub. And he kind of helped me with my studio equipment come up with a better quality than I could do myself.
Okay.
And so, if it wasn't for him moving forward, it would have been harder to get to where I got to. But because of him, we was able to get this quality where it could touch different people, and therefore end up touching my engineer when I did a showcase for them. I did a showcase for the FTE showcase, and the first song I performed was actually Break Free. So Break Free on SoundCloud featuring J-Hub. Honestly, that was another one of my milestone records where I had just got over the 100 views for the Devil in a New Dress. Moving on to that record I put out, and I got 500 views. And so I was starting to see more traction that shit was going on.
Where were you able to record that track you and J-Hub did?
So that was very early, but I recorded that shit at my crib.
Oh, you did record that at the crib? I don't know why I thought you recorded that when we went to the studio downtown for some reason.
You know what? I recorded Prayers at the studio downtown.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, that Prayers, yeah.
Okay.
So the studio that he's talking about, I don't want to say no artist name, but, famous artists used to go to the studio downtown with like a sky rise. It was beautiful. I remember at that time I could only afford the B studio. You remember that? We was in the B studio, and the A studio had all the shit that we wanted that we eventually got. But the B studio at the time, that's what I could afford.
Okay. So what was your big next step?
All right, so
that young.
Yeah, so my big next step. And let me not blow over this. I have to say, shout out to you, bro, because without you, I wouldn't have gotten that studio equipment. If nobody knows, I was making bonehead decisions. I was spending money when I shouldn't have spent money. I was one of them check to check type niggas, but I had a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Facts. And so I didn't really have the 200, 300, whatever to throw down on it. But luckily enough, my right hand man's threw me together. He said, fuck it, I got you. And so without that, I wouldn't even got to where I got to. Fast forward, after me with J-Hub, working with him for a little bit, getting some records out and working on different platforms, I got in contact with a new team. Okay. And this team, they was based out of Greenfield, Plaza. Okay. They had a studio there. Shout out to FTE, Denard, Shakir. They really were the ones who believed in me first before I even believed in myself. I was making these records, and of course to you and I, we jamming, but to everybody else, we don't really know what that was. And so when they listened to my records and they was fucking with it, and Shakir was looking for, a rapper to kind of engineer for, that just we just coincided. I don't know what happened, man. It was one day I remember going in there, and I never recorded in a booth. I ain't gonna lie, they booth was a little small.
I don't know why I thought you did record.
Nah,
in that
man.
booth
What I used to do, bro, man, I was so hard headed. I used to just record at the crib and then just take my records over and get them mixed and mastered at their studio.
I thought that time we went in there, they was because we was eventually getting ready they was getting ready to move. I thought you did record a track in there, or you didn't.
You know what? My mind sometimes runs blank. Maybe I did.
Or maybe you did. Maybe you did. Maybe my mind was running.
It was nothing that we ever put out, you know, because I didn't really like that booth at first. I ain't gonna lie. But, you know, I went. Me and Shakir really hit it off onto a level where, you know, it's not only about music. This is a brother. And so I developed that through time. And I remember at that time, I was really looking at trying to be a CEO, trying to really think about the different ways where I could eliminate some of those expenses, but be smart about it and maybe be able to make something in return. Okay. So I was like, you know what? The opportunity came to me, and I kind of just took it. And we kind of put my little studio equipment with they had some studio equipment. We put it together, and we ended up moving to the hills, in Farmington Hills, and that's where FTE moved on into having Door 223, which was the first official studio that I ever was a part of as a part owner.
Okay, let's talk about 223, man. How was that? How was that experience?
Door 223. You know what? It's where we were boys and where we were becoming men, I would say. Because at that time, you gotta think about it. This is before my first project. This is before a lot of things. I only had an EP out, which was Perfect EP 1. A series that I will continue to do probably for the rest of my career, just because those are my roots. Yeah. If you ever want to really listen, and I told myself that I would do this for the viewers. If I could get 200 likes on this video, also hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed, comment. If I could get 200 likes on this video, I will re-put out Perfect EP 1 and Perfect EP 2 on all my platforms, including SoundCloud, for people who don't have streaming services. I will do that for people so they could go back and listen to that, because that's real Dre Barter there. That's where I was really kind of coming into myself. One of my highlighted records, I would say, probably off my second EP, Where Will You Go? And that was one of the ones that I had that I just felt like when I listened to that record, it was therapeutic to me that I didn't even care what other people thought of that record. Every time I listened to it, I had a newfound love for me creating that record.
I feel like me personally, you said you feel like that was your breakout record. I feel like when you did I Know You Want to Know over Bryson Tiller, I feel like that really just gave you like, all right, we heard a little some of it, but we can you didn't know what your limit was with the music, and I just feel like, all right, we got something on our hands. So.
You know what? I tend to forget about that record. I ain't gonna lie. I do forget about that. But that was one of the more records where I was hopping on other people's beats, trying to see what I would really like. And without having a beat like that, I don't even think I would have hopped in that round. Because I was too busy doing that kind of freestyle or lyrical, miracle rap type shit, that when I was able to move into that lane, at that time I was feeling something though, bro. I had feelings for a lot of things, me going through relationships, me going through different parts of my life and realizing, it's time to do something different.
Okay. So let's get back to 223, man. So what was your first project EP in there?
So my first EP project out of Door 223. And you know what? I probably had an EP maybe, but you think it was Perfect EP 2. So Perfect EP 2. So I went from Perfect EP 1. I was with them at Greenfield. Perfect EP 2 come out. Now I'm with them at my studio, which is Door 223. And so at that time, 4 songs again. The I Know You, I'm sorry, not the I Know You Want to Know, but the Where Will You Go? That was the number 2 track on that EP.
Where Will You Go on the first Perfect. It was.
No, that wasn't first Perfect. First Perfect was
the record.
The Perfect Interlude.
Yeah,
no,
that was the record you meant.
It wasn't. I skipped over Perfect EP 1. I skipped over it. And that's a lot of time my viewers have to know. I got so many projects, bro.
You do.
So
a lot of projects in the tuck,
I got projects. The catalog has been getting heavier and heavier. I don't mean to hoard these, but I just feel like the time is of the essence. Like, you know, I don't rush nothing. I try to make sure shit is in the fold.
Where were you at when you dropped when that project? Weren't we in Florida?
We was in Miami, man. We was in Miami. We was in Miami. It was around Christmas. I actually dropped it on my birthday, and we was on a cruise.
No, it was right before the cruise.
Yeah. We was in Miami for like 2 nights, a night, and I remember.
Nah, bro, that wasn't even for that, man. That was when we wasn't even we were in dang, you forgot we went to Florida twice.
We were in Miami.
That was in Miami.
Cause
that dropped the night when Ganal was supposed to come get us. We was all downtown. Nah, bro. I don't think that was. We weren't in Miami at the time.
We were in Miami. We were in Miami.
I don't know why I thought we was in somewhere else for some reason.
We was in the city of Miami for like a night or two. And I remember telling him, because Christmas is 3 days after my birthday. And I remember telling you like, oh yeah, I was gonna drop this on Christmas or whatever, but I just felt like I needed to drop it on my birthday. And then we went, we were hopping on a cruise because we had a cruise to go to the Bahamas or to some other islands or whatever. And I remember dropping it, and I was very satisfied because I had gave K kind of like an incentive and told him if he could put something together last minute for me to put on my project, which was at the end of the intro. You know, there was a little part in there that I had asked him to do, and he did it, and I was really happy about that. And so, from that project, moving on, my first real project, if we want to get to the nitty gritty, Burbs and the Bees.
Burbs and the Bees. What a time to be. That's the feeling they gave me. What a time to give alive.
Burbs and the Bees. That's another one that I consider my baby. That's a project that when I look back at, and Burbs and the Bees is now up on streaming services again. Correct. If you haven't listened to it, it's a deluxe version. I added 2 to 3 records on there that, you know, people can go and indulge in, like. But Burbs and the Bees. That's the project I knew, especially leading towards a project that I almost forgot about, which is sad. Shout out to Intro. We had did Intro Barter. So let's go before we even deal with Burbs. Let's talk about Intro Barter.
And were you still in 223?
We were still in 223 for sure.
When y'all dropped Intro Barter.
For sure. So Intro Barter, that was a tape that we put together. It was an EP. 4 or 5 songs. I had a solo. He had a solo. We put it all together and we called it Intro Barter. We put it out in the summer, in the end of the summer, and it had. I'm not gonna lie, bro. That was one of my better.
Still most played.
It's a really good played EP. A lot of people took that, and a lot of people really liked it. And so that's kind of when I knew, all right, we got something here. And then that transitioned into Burbs and the Bees. Okay. Where I was going from making this type of record, and now I'm making fun, what I would call burb music. Okay. I was, what I was rapping about and everything that I did all pertained to the burbs. But in any given situation, wherever you live at, you could take some of those things and it could contribute to anything that you do in life. But it was all burb music.
All right, so what was your favorite record off Intro Barter, you would say?
So my favorite record off Intro Barter, it really wasn't even my record. It was really Intro's record. But he had a song called Without You.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite shit too.
Without You.
Intro, that's
Without You by Intro.
Shit. Intro was like, that shit touched me.
Without You by Intro was my favorite record off there. But I had a standalone record on there, which was another one of my more received records at that time. What's that shit called, man? My solo on there.
You talking about OTR?
OTR, there you go. Mind you, let me just say this.
That's your first auto-tune shit.
Let me just say this too. I do forget sometimes the titles of my records, but that's only because I have a lot of records. And so I be needing, you feel me, niggas who know my discography to, you feel me, I just call it a little encyclopedia. You know what I mean? That nigga K knows everything when I don't. So for sure. But yeah, back to that. Without You was hard. I had OTR, which was on the real. That was my first auto-tune record. First time we really did auto-tune, honestly. And then from there, you know, moving on to Burbs, I did auto-tune records like Robbery. We did auto-tune records like the last record on there. Man, what's your favorite record off Burbs?
It Might Seem Like.
Oh, so yours was It Might Seem Like. Mine was the last record. The last record on Burbs.
Talk That Talk.
Talk That Talk. That's another one. So Talk That Talk was one of my favorite ones. That had auto-tune. Actually, Burbs had a lot of auto-tune. Some of it was underlining auto-tune. Some of it was for real. But Burbs is one of them ones where I knew, I think I could take this to the next level if I keep going.
Okay. Did you do any visuals for Burbs?
No, man.
Wow.
We did not do a single visual. And you know what? Actually, I lied. We had visuals in the tuck. I did a visual for Tied Up. We did a visual for Robbery.
Talk about them stories.
We had
Bro.
At the time we were all kind of scrambled. And especially, you know, some of the friends that I had surrounded myself around. Shout out to Deuce. You know, funny. We had a lot of trials and errors within the camp when it came down to recording videos and things like that. Things just didn't sit right at the time, and so we had to get it together.
Okay.
I'm thinking about some of the other records that we did. I mean, yeah, that was it. Just them two.
Okay. And you started recording some of it in 223, then you end up moving to where next?
I bet. So during this timeline, you know, we had people that was in and out with us. And so we knew that we had to make a transition, and so we decided to move from 223 down to Door 14. And so that was in the basement of the same studio, the same building. And from there, that's where we were really tested into becoming men, because a lot of them situations was kind of situations that we had to learn over time.
Facts.
It wasn't nothing that, you know, somebody just sat down and said, this is how it's supposed to be. It was something where you had to put your head down and work for it. And so I remember doing, you know, sweet ass paintings on the wall in 223 and having fun. And then going into Door 14, we had to deal with some adversity.
Facts.
And so a part of that adversity was that some of our team was spread it out more than before. And so one of my business partners ended up going to school. Another one of my business partners ended up going to school, and then he ended up moving, going back and forth. And so it's really just me and Kay in Door 14. And that's where we really locked in, and I think we created probably one of my most favorite projects right now to today, which was B.O.B.
Okay.
And so Beginning of Barter.
Yep. And
that's really my first full-length rap album. I mean, Birds and the Bees is a rap album, but it was kind of just more fun, more there wasn't really a subject matter how I had on B.O.B. B.O.B. was a subject matter of, you know, I'm here, I have a story, and this is the beginning of something. Birds was kind of just like, we having fun, we kicking it, we chilling, you know, we cool. And that was what defined me at that time. But moving into Burbs, we had to mature. And so I matured, and the first record we did off Burbs was actually the number 3, I think it was the 3rd track on B.O.B., which was Like Whoa. I remember doing Like Whoa. We had a record before Like Whoa, but I remember doing Like Whoa really early. And having that verse done quick. That's one of my favorite verses, actually, from the whole B.O.B. tape.
I be forgetting about Like Whoa. Like Whoa.
Like Whoa is one that goes under the radar, but when it come on, you still get the same type of effect.
You definitely do.
That's what I think I liked about that record. Shout out to an artist I had on there, OMN Blanco. Shout out to him. He was on there. He did his thing. But yeah, B.O.B. really taught me a lot. B.O.B. was also another one of my milestones. The first time I got into 1,000 or more streams was because of B.O.B. And it really helped shape who I am today, honestly. Without B.O.B., I would think I would still be fishing for some of those records that I had on there. Another one of my favorite records on there is Matchbox, which was a fully auto-tuned record that I had came up with intro. That got
auto-tune.
What? Yeah, that got a lot of auto-tune, but it was just a fun record. You know what I mean? I know a fan favorite for whatever reason. A lot of people I ask about it. I think this song is trash.
Shit that ass to me?
No, we not even going there. I think, and that was first of all, that was on Burbs, and I'm happy that you skipped over that because the last time we did this, he tried to X me out. So don't even listen to that. But no, I'm referring to Best Advice.
Best Advice.
Which was the second to last song on that project. I didn't really like that. I didn't like that, but that's a lot of people's favorite. Yeah.
Okay.
I will say this too. Keith Khalifa also is a standout on that.
Keith Khalifa was.
Which was the single.
That was a single. Wasn't we supposed to do a video for that?
We did.
We did a video. We did a video for that. Never came out. People, let me explain.
Who got the video?
let me explain something to y'all
some
people.
Some of our young niggas that's...
Look me in my eyes as I speak to y'all people. I have done a lot of work from 6 years ago till now. A lot of that y'all not gonna see. But it's okay. We gonna keep working. That's just it. So
you see, I'm asking, and I'm always around like niggas just be hot and shit.
We did a video for that. I don't know where it is. It's in the deep archives.
What was the? I feel like what was the setting for that video?
You know, we was
parking lot.
We was out in the parking lot. We was out in Troy. We was out in Birmingham. I had the Tesla.
We was traveling.
Really?
Yeah, I had the Tesla.
We had the Tesla and we didn't use the video.
We didn't use the video, no. Yeah. But shout out to that videographer. You know who you are. Baby. Yes, sir.
Not really, but yeah.
Nah, you know who he is, man. Shout out to him.
I'm talking shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so from the new studio, getting all those things wrapping your head around, how would you say you feel like you were starting to develop as an artist, more as an artist?
Right, so Door 14, I am starting to understand how to put flows together. I'm starting to understand how to use my voice. You can ask K, I was battling with myself, bro. I didn't think my voice was good enough at the time. I was second guessing my bars, second guessing what I was really living, which was my truth. And so with that being said, I really just kind of just put my head down and start really working. And I remember coming to the studio early, 6 a.m. Sometimes I stay the night in the studio, and some of my better records would come when I woke up in the morning. And that was a different feel, being able to wake up in your studio, do records whenever you wanted. And so I had that luxury back then. And that's something I still fish for today. Like that would be an ultimate goal of mine, to get back into damn near sleeping in my stu, creating records every day.
That'd be wild.
That would be. It's something that will come soon, for sure.
We actually should start doing that, man. Well, at least once a month or something.
Why the hell not, man?
Stay in.
Why the hell not? Just lock in.
Lock in.
Why the hell not? I mean,
food, everybody locked in. Stay. Do the music all day.
We would be able to get a lot of records done doing that. I work really well with other people in the studio, like my brothers. It's really comfortable in here. Matter of fact, let me stop saying studio and start saying InHouse. We're in InHouse Studios. This is my new studio that we're in now. I know we talking about Door 14, but InHouse Studios in Southfield. For all your best quality recording, honestly. I mean, you can do anything in here, honestly. As you see, we're doing a podcast in here, so don't be afraid, to hit us about anything. But yes, so Door 14, we moving, we doing X, Y, and Z. We starting to get it together, but it didn't really get together. And so even on B.O.B., I didn't really do no videos for that either. Wow. The one thing that has always lacked about Dre Barter up until this year, 2021, would be that my visuals, I didn't have enough visuals for people to see who I was. And so they could hear the voice, but hearing the voice, actually seeing the person It's two different things.
Facts.
And so even in this interview, people might listen to this and be like, wow, this guy's so well spoken or something like that. And in my humble opinion, honestly, I'm just talking how I talk. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But if people get more of this, this would allow people to have a visual as they listen to my music.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. So, after B.O.B., what was your next step with the music? What lane was you trying to go for with your next project?
So after B.O.B., you know, I had a couple things in the tuck. I was working on a all auto-tune album.
What was that called?
Caution.
Actually,
I'm lying. It's not called Caution. My EP was called Caution, and that was the next EP that I dropped. It wasn't Caution. My bad.
Yes, man.
It was what is that auto-tune record? The auto-tune project that I created.
The auto-tune project you created?
Yeah, that we got all them records from. Like, all that. What is that even called?
That was Caution.
Okay, I was right.
Okay,
for the one time. For the first time in my life, I was right. All right, Caution. So what's the EP? Didn't I put out an EP called Caution?
No.
So what's the EP?
Barter is on?
No, man, and I'm sorry I do this to myself. What's the EP we put out where I had Jay Pitts on that?
Nigga, that's fucking.
I thought that was called Caution.
That's not Caution.
No, I'm tripping. I'm tripping.
Nah.
Yeah, we all tripping right now.
Shit,
folks.
I done put out so much music, folks.
He got a lot of music in the tuck.
I'm trying to tell you.
And it wasn't in the Matrix that was going on.
No, it wasn't. This was not
it wasn't under the umbrella. None of that.
This not under the umbrella. See, he's talking about real projects that I have in my vault.
You have a lot of music in the vault. We go to one tape, we there, couple tracks, then out of nowhere we had another somewhere else. We
Clear out, nigga.
Like
there we go. Clear out.
That's the name of it.
Clear out. Clear out is the name of the EP.
So what was on Clear Out? What was you going for?
I had a freestyle on there.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had one of my actually. Let me go to that.
Is Clear Out on streaming services?
Clear Out is on streaming services.
Okay.
That's one of the ones that people should also go back and tap into because that was not a bad EP. I had a lot of different records on there. Actually, it was one of my first auto-tune records that I kind of put my hands on. I ain't gonna say that I engineered it or I didn't do nothing crazy.
Technically you did.
I put my hands on it, which was LSG.
Oh yeah.
I remember that outro. But yeah, I had At This Second freestyle. Mm-hmm. That was cool. I had Facts or Fiction. And remember, we sat on Facts or Fiction for at least a year and a half.
Bro, you got music been sitting on even longer than that.
Nah, yeah, for sure. So yeah, we sat on Facts and Fiction for a year and a half. Levels, which is the better record that came out of that LSG. So yeah, Clear Out, not Caution. So Caution is the tape with the all auto-tune. And so that whole thing, that's another video. We'll talk about Caution later.
Okay. So
I guess I'll piggyback off you. So my next project after B.O.B. will be what you pretty much have seen this year. There's been a couple singles that I did for March Madness. Mm-hmm. By the way,
Clear Out came after that.
Clear Out did come after B.O.B. Clear Out came about 6 months after B.O.B.
Okay.
But we doing singles. We did singles for March Madness, which is gonna be something that we do every year. A March Madness is gonna be something that's something that I coined. And I've been really keen on March Madness even before I even started being a rapper. Okay. I knew that was kind of the theme that I wanted to go for March, which we'll put out a record every week in March with a video, have people vote on it. It wasn't as successful as my mind intended, but as we keep doing it, it's only gonna get more.
Okay, let's rewind it back 2 seconds. Talking about singles, Mango.
Okay, yes. So Mango is actually another milestone. We always talk about milestones. First time I got the 5K was with Mango. Yeah. And so Mango, we actually sat on that record.
We did. I remember the day we found that. That beat.
Yeah, for a year. We sat on that record for a whole year. And
anticipated for the next summer. That's crazy.
We did anticipate for the next summer. Yeah. That is crazy.
We sat on that record for a whole year. And
damn, we did.
And it came out, and we ended up shooting a video in Miami.
Mm-hmm. How was that?
You know what? Since you weren't there, I will explain. It was a trip. It was a trip. It was a trip as a squad. We came down there. We set goals to shoot this music video. Mm-hmm. We did that. It came with some errors. It came with some trials. Everything happens, not how you envision it, but it happened. Mm-hmm. And so when we shot that video, I had, a vision for it. Mm-hmm. And I knew how I wanted it to be, but Mango actually came out better than what my vision would even would have been. So yeah, go stream Mango. Shit, it's up there for sure. Go watch the video if you haven't already. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so yeah, Mango came as a single. After that, leading towards around the time that we traveled to Miami mm-hmm. was around the time that we were getting this studio here. Yeah. So we had just got this studio, and I remember recording here one of the records I put out this year, Jimmy Futler, which mm-hmm. is another milestone. Yeah. And Jimmy Futler, you could, stream that, go watch that. But Jimmy Futler was actually done in this very room. Part of Jimmy Futler was done in this very room. Wow. With no drywall, I'm talking exoskeleton of what this room is. And we did Jimmy in it. So, wow. Crazy.
That was crazy.
Crazy. Jimmy is also another record that we did, I want to say a year prior, but a lot of my records that you hear are not going to be something that I do yesterday. It's going to be something that we probably have sat on for a while, thought mm-hmm. about, and, really strategically put that out for a specific reason. Maybe mm-hmm. at that time I'm feeling some type of way, and we need to do that. And that was my purpose for Live, which is another single that I dropped this year. I dropped it on January 1st, and Live was all about what happened last year with, Black Lives Matter, pandemic, things like that. And, my subject matter for everything is really dependent on the mood and what I feel personally, what people really need to hear. Yep. Not what they want to hear for real.
We were doing a lot of music, but weren't putting out during the pandemic. So we set a goal for 2021. We did March Madness. And what were some of your better and favorite tracks out of March Madness?
The best track I probably did was Jimmy Futler, but I did like some of those other tracks. You had 100 Man, mm-hmm. which was on Monday on intro. That video was hard.
Facts.
It was cold, bro. It was cold. And see, that's the thing about being a music artist. Some people don't understand the work that you put in. You have to call for climate control. Like I said, it was very cold that day. And we were still out there. It was cold, bro. It was windy and cold.
When we shot...
100 Man. Not at night. Even at night 100 still.
Man? Oh, shit. Nigga, it was cold as hell that day.
Fucking
freezing.
Yeah.
Nigga, you had the gloves on, so you...
Oh, yeah. You had the... you had the FUBU gloves, right? They were FUBU, right?
I had Adidas gloves.
Adidas.
For all the listeners, y'all need to understand. This guy, he thinks he's funny. So a lot of times he'll take something and he like to add a little flair on it. I did not have FUBU gloves on. They were Adidas gloves.
I was trying to think. I don't know.
But yeah, 100 Man was another good visual. Honestly, I liked all the records out of the March Madness.
That was a lot of hot records.
It was really supposed to be 4 records, and I only dropped 3. And so that's something for myself that I feel like I owe the fans for the next March Madness. Fuck it, I'm going to give you 5 records instead of the 4 I intended, just because I didn't reach what I wanted to reach on the March Madness.
But that was a good push as an artist, because that was something we started Design Wheel, came together, had a Monday, and just tried to you know what I'm trying to say.
So what he's referring to is we, for the first time as a team, had a storyboard for it. Yeah. We actually had dates in mind, and it didn't even work out how we intended. Honestly,
it started though. It did. It did
start.
The first week and a half.
It did start. Really, it's on me personally.
What happened? Why?
Shit, man. I just It'd be a lot of stuff
Pick
going
the word,
on, man.
Pick the right word. Just pick the right word.
Well,
Discouraged.
I wouldn't even say discouraged.
He said, I don't want to put this shit out, bro.
I wouldn't even say discouraged. At that time, though, I was walking with a confidence, but it wasn't it wasn't 100% confidence. And so I was thinking to myself, well, I just put out a record. I just put out a freestyle. And I didn't lead with something I wanted to lead with, which was something that we created. It's something that we did that we didn't put out, which was the Stu. That's what I'm trying to say.
Vlogs coming soon.
Vlogs coming soon. Vlogs coming very soon. I actually
vlogs need to definitely come.
I promised my viewers a video this week.
Shorty shake that ass for me?
No, I did not promise my viewers Shorty shake that ass for me.
I'm just asking the question. Damn, I want to be. I might be a viewer.
The nigga's a funny guy, bro. No, man.
No,
but I will be putting out content.
Okay.
Yes, very soon.
Okay.
But yeah, not to get on a tangent. We had some things going on that didn't really come out. They didn't really do what they needed to. Well, I didn't do what I needed to do. That's what I will say. And
but it was a building point at the end of the day. It was a learning experience. That was our first time doing it.
Everything is a learning experience. See, Facts. This is what people need to understand. As a CEO mind, you will come up with things that may fail. But that's the part that you need to understand. A CEO always keeps moving forward. You always feel like you got people to feed. And so I'm not feeding my people in that terms, but in terms of the work that I put in, I always got that mindset of, all right, well, it didn't really work out, but I didn't take it as an L.
Facts.
I just took it as, all right, you just keep moving forward. And so I made strides with it. We did what it was, and then we moved on.
Okay, so what's next? What's the next big step?
Well, I'll tell you what, before we even talk about what's next, it's a good thing you talk about next, because I put out...
I Got Next.
Right, so I put out the EP called I Got Next. And so on I Got Next, you could kind of hear what I've been working on for the last 2 years, I would say, because I got records on there that are 2 years old, and then I got records on there that are pretty recent. And so the couple records that I have on there that are 2 years old, they go back to back. So Count It and also Problems are 2 records that I did in 2019. Yeah. And so I decided to put those on the project because they were to me, I felt they were good enough to be there, and they stand alone. When you listen to those songs, you can't really tell between the 2019 records and the 2021 records. Okay. And so my favorite record off the project would probably have to be All You Got. All You Got. That one resonates with me the most. Sometimes when I do records, I'm really doing it for myself. And other people will just have to understand when they receive my records that if you are relating to anything that I have to say, you just having the same experiences as I'm having, where you can feel kind of the same things that I'm talking about. Because they really records all for me. Like, I don't want to sound selfish by any stretch, but as an artist, you have to understand, artistry is based upon feeling. I always say that. Actually, this is what I say. I say art is opinionated, but music is feeling. And so anytime I do something and I can feel it, I really don't really care. And it sounds bad, but I really don't care about the bad opinions on records that I know hit differently for me when I listen to them. And so All You Got is one of those. A record that I think I was surprised to get some good feedback for was a record I didn't even want to put on there, which was Problems, which is an all auto-tune record. That's a record that I damn near did in 2019, and I put my hands on and made sure it was where it needs to be. And so when Kay told me, yo, you should put this on there, I'm going back and forth with myself, and I said, fuck it, let's do it. And so I'm glad I did that, because it gave some of my audience who was feeling for, some of that auto-tune, it was right there for them. And so they received it well.
That's what's up, man. So what visuals did you do for that problem?
Right, so right now all we have is the All You Got visual. Go tap in with that. That's the last visual that has come out thus far up until this date. But I really plan on doing a visual for all of them, honestly. Okay. And they might not all come out in consecutive order. I might throw some new shit in there and then come back and do my old shit, but I really want to do a visual for every single song on there. And I want them visuals there's gonna be some type of story. So look out for that. It won't be something that's just like to the naked eye, but if you can really pay attention and really dive into, you know, who I am, then you'll start to see kind of like the highs and lows within the project I got next.
So what are you working on next?
All right, so perfect question. Right now, I will say I'm about 60% done with a project right now. The project that we working on is called Fool's Paradise.
Fool's Paradise.
I plan on putting out the first single for Fool's Paradise really coming soon. I don't want to really throw a date on there, and I don't really want to say too much, but there will be a single coming very soon with Fool's Paradise. Now, Fool's Paradise, just for people who don't understand, I'll give you my little rundown of Fool's Paradise and what that means to me. So Fool's Paradise is this storyline of myself coming into myself, realizing that where you want to go, there's going to be a lot of obstacles on that road. And so people are going to tell you this, people are going to tell you that, but you have to use your own experiences to get to that final destination. And maybe that final destination is really not even what you thought. You know, for example, there's been many times where I've wanted something so bad. I wanted it super bad, but then when I got it, shout out to Juice in the back.
I thought Juice
by the way.
whistled for a second.
Shout out to
I was about to say.
Shout out to Juice. Shout out to Juice in the back.
I'm like, what the hell?
Bless you, my dog. Before I got off track, what the fuck was I even talking about, man?
You talking about the thing?
Thank you, Juice. Thank you, bro. And that nigga said, "Fuck y'all niggas."
True.
Okay, so what was that?
We were talking about the thing.
Yes, the thing for Fool's Paradise. I'm sorry. So yeah, you get to this destination and you feel as if like, damn, everything that I worked for, worked towards, end up not being shit. Basically, that's the terms of it. And so people will get this interesting ride between me as an artist, me trying to find myself, me in a relationship, me trying to find myself there, me moving into this CEO mindset, taking a leap of faith. And not really, you know, having a 9 to 5, moving forward and trying to see where I could go from there.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Wow. So, how many tracks you think you want to do on Fool's Paradise?
It's really hard to say, man. I would say it's gonna be a full length project. So whatever you consider to be a full length, could be 10 songs, could be 15 songs. I don't really go past 15.
Okay.
Just because I really want my audience to be immersed in the story. Too much is kind of, you know, people can get, you know, a little restless when it comes down to music.
Correct.
And so if you want to perceive it correctly, especially for a storyline as deep as Fool's Paradise will be, 10 to 15.
Okay,
Definitely.
That's definitely what's up.
Definitely.
So, wrapping up things, how are you liking how you getting things together in the new studio, man?
All right.
Making everything come together.
So once again, we are recording this podcast at InHouse Studios. I will say this, InHouse Studios is my favorite studio that we've had out of the 3 that I've been a part of. This studio brings accountability that I think we really needed. For us to be able to sit down and do a podcast like this, we have not done this in any of our other studios.
Nope.
I don't know why. Maybe because we didn't even have the confidence. But in this studio, it seems to be something where we've been challenging ourselves to do different things.
Correct.
And so this is a part of that process where we just doing different shit. And yeah, man, this studio, we have what I would claim, and this is self-proclaimed, I guess, we have the best booth in the city of Detroit. I'm not gonna lie. And the control room is pretty decent, as you can see, pretty good. We're gonna keep making, you know, these advancements here and there. And I think our end goal would just be to continue to make music and to continue to have a camp where everything that's coming out of here is of quality.
Yeah.
And that's basically everything that I've been talking about damn near since the beginning of time, in terms of me being a boss, me being a co-partner, me being anything is of quality. And if you don't have quality, you kind of missing out on what you could be, you know? I make this analogy all the time. You got McDonald's, you got Morton's. One can sell, you know, for a very low price, have a lot of people coming for it, but it's fast, right? It's fast. One, you go in, you gonna get this luxury style experience. You gonna get an experience in which it might take them a little bit longer to cook the food. You know what I mean? But it's gonna be made with this quality where you can sit down and feel like, wow, you know? And so that's how I look at my music. I try not to make no fast food music. I try to make music that when we put it out, it can be received and people is like, wow, or people actually take that quality and they do what they want with it.
Yes.
Indulge, as Kay says. Indulge.
Correct. And make sure y'all book so y'all can come in here and experience, man.
Definitely. Feel free to book. I mean, we have a website. So feel free on Google, InHouse Studios. I mean, you can look at all that. You know, it's in my bio. So, you know, if ever you just don't know how to click on Google and search up InHouse Studios, you could go to my bio. It's in there too. I mean, book to have, you know, a great experience as I always do as I come here. Definitely. That's
what's up, man. So, wrapping up, what's our next step from here, man? Where are we going from here?
Right. Our next step is, you know what? I'm gonna do something different, and I want people to really realize this as I talk into the camera. I really haven't looked into the camera today, but I'm gonna look into the camera right now. So my next step will be something that my next single title will tell you where I'm going. And so that'd be something that you should look out for. But my next single title will be what explains what I got coming up next, or where I would like to be next, or whatever the case may be. Okay. Which I'm excited for. Look out for it. Probably, you know, September-ish, October-ish. Not to put anything out there without really publicizing it, but you know, around that time, I'm gonna have a single, my next single, and that title will be everything, or will explain where I would like to be, where I would like to go, what's next.
Okay. I want to say thank you for sitting down and InHouse, man.
For sure, man. For sure.
A great time, always good atmosphere.
For sure.
And thank you to Kay, as always, for setting everything up.
For sure.
Getting everything together.
What I will say to the viewers is, this is really the first of many. I mean, I plan on just having a podcast where we can sit here comfortably and not only talk about myself, but talk about the other guys that we have in here. Because it's really it's a family in here, man. So we're going to bring things together. I mean, this is only part one. Obviously, an introductory into who I am as an artist. But it's not just about me, man. I think people are going to start to realize that it's other pieces to this puzzle that really is what makes the entity Dre Barter as good or as great as it is. Facts. You know, so I do want to say thank you to my brother, my right hand, for being my narrator on the first episode.
Trying, man.
That's dope, man. Thank you to Kay for getting all our shit down, our vocals ready. The last time we did this shit, my dumb ass didn't set it up right, and so now we here, man. But thank you for the first installment.
Watch out for him to throw that ass in reverse.
Thank you for the first installment.
No, I'm kidding.
Of the I guess you could call it the Day Spent Podcast. Maybe that's what I'll call it, man. Remember, oh, my bad, man. My bad.
I told you, be thinking about throwing his ass in reverse.
We call him.
He got his
pause on this nigga right now. Anyway.
I mean, it's in the track. I'm just saying.
We calling this shit the Stu Podcast. Okay. This is episode 1, man. I don't know if I'm gonna put this on streaming services, but definitely on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube right now and you made it to the end of this video, I want you to type in Day Spent Forever in the comments if you made it to the end of the video. Day Spent Forever. Appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe.
Hashtag throw that ass in reverse.
Don't hashtag anything this nigga's talking about. We'll see y'all.
And tell me that. This nigga's hilarious.
Come on, man. That's not all that shit that you talking about.
What? They might like it. They might shit.